Hey, my lovely Willow Vibes tribe members. I'm Jessica from Willow Vines Intuitive Vibes, and I'm here to do a collective message today. My hair's gonna drive me nuts. I just feel it. It's like I like the messy bun, but sometimes it gets a little too messy for my liking. But anyways, today is Friday, April 21st, 2023. If you care to know the date, don't get hung up on dates and times because, it could resonate with you today, could be happening for you today, which I try to hone in on that. I've said that a couple times already. So it must be significant to certain people. And if it's not today, it could be, it's just within this energy. So currently, you know what I mean? But for some of you, whatever comes out of my mouth could have already happened if it applies. So keep that in mind and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stick around. I hope you do. Oh, I got a few things I want to say. I usually pull cards first. I did some pre-shuffles and stuff, but I keep hearing, nope, just pull them on camera. So I haven't pulled any yet. I just kind of shuffled and just to get the energies flowing, But there's a couple things I want to mention. When I don't know if any of you watched that reading, but I had found, I think it was yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. I have no sense of time, just saying. That's why I say don't get hung up on times and stuff. Because time is man-made. It really is. It flies by sometimes and it drags ass sometimes. It's almost like, which wormhole we going into today? You know what I mean? Maybe somebody's interested in things like that. But I found 3 pennies in one spot after I heard today's going to be a good day. And I was like, good, yeah. It better be a good day. I think it was yesterday. But anyways, one of the, actually, it's this penny right here. One of these pennies, the mint date, the date it was minted was 1978. And there's 1984. And I feel like 1984 is a birth year for someone. 96 could be too. I don't know what the 96 is about, 1996. So that could have something completely different, involve a different person, or something significant happen to someone in 96, or just the 90s in general. But no, something significant happened in 1996 for someone. But anyways, excuse me. I love that spirit comes through and talks through me, but I don't like the coughs. It drives me nuts. And there are some people I pick up on who they cough. I either pick up on it when they're sick or because they're dealing with stuff, and that's just how they are on the regular, you know what I mean? But it drives me nuts, it really does. So anyways, 1978, that's the year that Joe, my friend Joe who passed away, that's when he was born. And I just realized that last night because I could never remember roughly, and his face popped in my head when I mentioned the dates and stuff, but I was like, whatever. I shrugged it off. I didn't say it, just kind of kept moseying on in the reading. And I looked at his eulogy card last night and I was like, holy crap. He was born in 78. Like, I was like, that's so cool. And then, because he was kind of talking to me just a little bit, and this is going to make me teary-eyed now. It made me cry last night. Because it's almost over is what I heard. I mean, I heard it again in my head, but last night that's what I heard. Like, it's almost over, so he's almost accomplished what he needs to accomplish, the things that he needs to say, whatever information he wants out. It's at the tail end of that, and then he's gonna leave. And I was like, but I don't want you to leave. You've been here this whole time, helping me through this, because he's been a guiding light for me. Don't make me cry. I just don't want to cry. He's been a guiding light. He's been very helpful, and in teaching me how to deliver messages. Like, he was a very integral part in that, along with, my Mimi, Grammy Olive, Alton Plummer, which is my great-grandfather, Olive's husband. Oakley has been around, which is my dad's dad. And some of you guys as relatives as well, like relatives of my friends or people I know. Some people I've never even met, like William, which is my grandfather, which is my mom's dad, his father who passed away. He's been around. I never met him. And William Bailey, which is my Mimi's first husband, which at her funeral, I literally saw her with my Bumpy, which is Ralph Danby. And he was kind of a chubby man with rosy cheeks, and he was always like so shiny and happy. I think he was a car salesman. I always thought he was like part of the mob because that's what he looks like. So just to give you an idea, he looks like a mobster. Like he always did. He had that air about him. Um, but anyways, when she passed away, because they both passed before her, I saw them both there with her because I was like, I see Bumpy and I see Mimi, but I never knew what her first husband looked like, my real great grandfather, my blood one, I should say. And I was like, I wonder if that's him. And because he was, I don't know, the man that was standing beside her was more on the slender side, but he wasn't like a toothpick. I don't know who he was, but I think it was him. Um, but I was like, they're all together, and they were standing behind the funeral director who was singing, I think they were singing Amazing Grace, which I did write down in one of my books, but I think that's what they were singing. I can't remember for sure, but I know it was like a churchy song. And it was one of my Mimi's favorite songs. That's why they sang it at her funeral. And she was right there singing behind him. I was like, she's singing along. It was so cool. I don't know why I went off on that. That was just a cool experience that I had. And I didn't even cry until I saw them behind the podium, and I was like, okay, now it's real. Like, you know what I mean? But anyways, because Joe said that when everything's said and done and he leaves, he'll come and check in on me. And I was like, but I'm going to miss you. So maybe somebody's really missing somebody right now, whether they're dead or alive, because we miss people all the time when they leave our life, or, if they live at a distance or whatever. Um, but yeah, he won't be sharing much more. He still has a few things to say because it's not over yet, but that chapter will be finished soon. So, anyways, whatever that means. That wasn't originally what I was gonna say, because I was gonna say the last reading I did one of them, because I did like 2 or 3 yesterday. I think I did 2 of them. The one I did before, I had to bring my daughter to her appointment. It was so funny because I was like touching my face, like putting makeup on, and I'm like, I already put makeup on this morning. Like, why the hell am I doing it? Like, what's the significance with that? And I was touching my eye too, and I was like, I felt like a boo-boo. Like there was like either it was swollen or something originally, and then it turned into makeup. Well, right as I was doing that channeling, I didn't know it obviously because I was in here recording by myself. Afterwards, I went downstairs, but at that exact time, my daughter was doing her makeup for the appointment. Like she was in her room doing the makeup, and I was picking up on her boyfriend because he has like a sty in his eye, and his eye was all swollen. It's getting better, but I didn't even. I don't know. Her face didn't pop in my head with that. It was just kind of so random. And then when I saw her with makeup on, I was like, okay, I was picking up on you guys. All right. And then in the reading, after I said something about the makeup, I said, I don't know why I keep putting my makeup on. I literally said that in the reading. And on our way back, because it was kind of like a wasted trip yesterday, we got to go again today. I'm not getting into details. But anyways, because it was a wasted trip, my daughter literally said to me in the car, she goes, I don't know why I keep putting my makeup on. Like, like this was just a waste of time. So I like said what she said in the future. I was like, I love stuff like that. And those little confirmations, they help me on the regular. And I know they help a lot of you because I've gotten a lot of comments saying, thank you for helping me work on my own spiritual gifts, on my own intuition. Learning to trust yourself is friggin' hard. It's really hard because your ego gets in the way, and it happens to all of us. So any little tidbits of information and explaining my day to day and little confirmations like that, if it can help you see the brighter side, if it can help you, you know, just in life in general, that's the point. That's the point, you know? Because we're all protected in the grand scheme of things. And just because like people like me who are mediums have different spirits around all the time, or on the regular, I should have to say all the time. But anyways, doesn't mean that you guys don't have spirit around you guys all the time too. It's just we sense things differently, you know? We pick up on things differently. There's also something here to do with dimensional shifts and stuff. Like tapping into different dimensions. Which is what, if you think about it, psychics and mediums and stuff, that's kind of what we do. Because if you think about time, I guess, because time truly doesn't exist, it's really hard to wrap your head around that concept. But if you think about it, the past, present, and future, it's all happening at once. So that's how you can kind of pick up on what's coming your way with the path that you're on. Because if you think about it, I don't know, I just want to say this real quick. This isn't going to be the whole thing. Where it's almost like multi-dimensional theories and stuff, where imagine there's, because I want to say, it's almost like Interstellar's popping in my head, so I guess this could be the easiest way to explain it, because when he was in like the black hole, I'm talking about a wormhole too. Anyways, when he was in the black hole, there was like a big bookcase. I mean, it was like a bunch of them and stuff, but that represented time. And it's almost like each book is parts of your life, you know, what's happened, what's going on, what could happen, and there's a lot of what could happen because we have free will. So it's like, okay, you like, say you've got, we'll just use this as an example, you got 3 bookcases. And those are all future bookcases because we've, you know, the past and present's over here kind of thing. So this is your future. And it's like, okay, well, I got 3 doors in front of me. I got 3 bookcases. So this could happen, or this could happen. Well, which path am I on? I'm on this one. So I'm going to go to the middle, you know, I'm going to go straight ahead. And I'm looking at the middle of the road, basically. No one's taking a left or a right or whatever. So you're in the middle of the road. And because you chose that path, or that's the path that you're on, psychics or your intuition, because even if people can't read for other people, a lot of times we can predict things for ourselves, especially if we tap into, you know, our own abilities. But it's like, okay, so this is my path. This is the path I'm on right now. So what's coming up? And then you can kind of see within this path the different choices, like, all right, well, this future thing, whatever. And you might not know exactly what order it comes in, but this path has all this crap in it. This path has all this crap in it. Do you know what I mean? So if there's a warning straight ahead, like, something bad's gonna happen in this bookcase, I don't like these stories. You know, like, maybe that's why I'm using books as a reference. Like, I don't like this story. This is a horror flick. Fuck horror. I don't like horror. We want a love story, or we want a happy ending kind of thing, you know. So, what's over here? Like, I know I don't want that, so I'm changing course. And then you make the decision to either choose the left bookcase or the right bookcase. And neither one is right or wrong, but you averted the problem. You're no longer in that horror story because you decided to take action. You decided to listen to yourself or someone else or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where, I guess that's where I wanted to go with different dimensions, because that's as far as I'm going with that right now. That would be a fun topic to talk about, though. I have ideas. But anyways, the golden phoenix. Change. Bring that change. The man in the mirror. Anyway, something you thought finished burst back into life. Yeah, something you thought was over gets resurrected. So there could be, it's either a situation, a project, or a person, because there's a lot of you, so I don't know exactly what it is. It feels like a person, so it's like some interaction between you and another person, because it's making me think of the past returns for a time, but I don't feel like it's temporary. It could be, depending on the choices you make, you know what I mean? But if you thought something had ended between you and another person, or a situation was just over and done with, this opportunity flew away, something's being resurrected. Because there's changes. Someone changed their mind. They're changing course. I will watch over you. Potentially because they're listening to spirit and they're being guided in a different direction, because I don't like the way my life is going this way, so I'm going to go over here. You know, like that's kind of what that feels like. Because we truly are the creators of our own universe. And that's what that saying means if you think about the different pathways and choices. You know what I mean? Like, you can choose to make no changes and then blah, blah, blah will happen. Or you can create what you want, make different changes, and then that will happen for you. Does that make sense? I mean, within reason. And if you work hard enough, because it's not just sitting here going, I'm praying for blah, 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 whatever. You have to take action on stuff. Shit just doesn't always fall in your lap. Sometimes it does, based off from the decisions you've made and the circumstances and just whatever. There's a lot of factors when it comes to stuff like that, because if you think about it, miracles or little like good luck, it really isn't luck. It's because of the path you're on when things like that happen to you, when good things like that happen to you. All right, just a daydream. I haven't gotten this card in a long time. Fantasy, fantasizing. I was just talking about, like, you can't just sit there and keep praying. You got to take action on your dreams to create the reality that you want. There is wishful thinking here, but I feel like it's almost like gathering your bearings or figuring things out. Like, what do I truly want type energy. So it's, I don't know, because there's someone in this energy that's like, yeah, right, too good to be true. I don't know, that's wishful thinking that this, and this is going to happen. Or someone's thinking that about you, like, you're just a daydreamer, your dreams ain't coming true kind of thing. But I feel like you're going to surprise or shock a lot of people with whatever this is for you. It's like, you didn't think I could do this? Well, guess what? Think again, mofo. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. Conscious channeling. So you're aware that you're channeling, that you're receiving downloads, information, messages, no matter how it's coming to you. Because this doesn't feel like the dream space. I do feel like there's a lot of dream symbols, and dreams are very significant for a lot of you, especially the ones that you remember. I don't know, there was a dream I had last night, but I'm only remembering one part of it. I remembered it all this morning, but there's only one part that's significant right now, which is probably why that's the only thing that's coming to me right this second, because the second I stop recording, it will all come back. I just know it. It's like time and place with certain things. But pay attention to your dreams and look into the different meanings of them, because you can't take a dream at face value. You really can't. Sometimes it is exactly what it appears to be, but usually not so much. It just depends on if it's a psychic dream or not. So I would basically base your interpretations of it on a sense of symbolism, until you have a better understanding of, how you dream and whatever, you know what I mean? But somebody's like daydreaming, like spacing out, and it's almost like a dream. Isn't that Inception, a dream within a dream? Within a dream within a dream. Okay, that would be a mind fuck topic to talk about, just saying, because have you ever had those dreams? That's happened to me before, where it's like it's like similar to lucid dreaming. It pretty much is, where you can control what happens in your dream. But Inception is about being in other people's dreams, which is astral travel. So it's almost like lucid dreaming / astral travel into somebody else's subconscious mind. And I swear to God, that's happened to me before. It's probably happened a lot more than I even realized, because I don't always remember every single dream. We dream a lot at night. But conscious dreaming is during the day, like daydreams. But anyways, I'm talking about Okay, so for first off with daydreaming energy, if you catch yourself going off into la la land, spacing out, whether you're driving, just sitting there, whatever, and you've got this little daydream going on in your head, like some pictures playing in your mind, basically, and then all of a sudden you kind of come back to, and you're like, holy crap, um, I'm almost home. Like, how the hell did I not die driving because I feel like I wasn't focused? It's because you were multitasking for one, but those are premonition type things. Those are, it's not just fantasy. There's information in those little daydreams, but it's a sense of symbolism as well sometimes. Because this one time I had this vision of a car going off the road, and it wasn't me, it was somebody else, and I was like, oh, I hope not, you know, like, and then I decided to take a road I don't normally take, and a car went off the road. They were in the ditch, and I was the only person around, and I had to use my phone to call for help because I don't think they had a phone. So it's almost like spirit led me to that car accident just so that they could get the help they needed because they would have been sitting there for a while. And I'll never forget that. That was like, it was just so weird how it happened, but I truly believe I was led there to help them. No one was injured in that accident, but it wasn't exactly the warmest day, and it wasn't freezing, but they had a little kid with them, so I don't know. They were being watched over, that's for damn sure. But what I was going to say with the dream within a dream is like being in somebody else's subconscious mind where you can read their mind, or I don't know, you kind of infiltrate their dreams. People can do that. It's not whether they're doing it intentionally or it just kind of happens if you're truly connected to somebody. There's something like that going on. I don't want to dive into it too much. But the dream I had and what's pointing out to me, or what's standing out to me, like the most significant part was right before I woke up, I was talking to someone. I knew who the person was in the dream, but I've never seen them like in real life. And actually, he kind of looked old worldly, like he wasn't from this time period, which is kind of ironic that I want to use the Edgar Allan Poe tarot deck today, because that's a different time, you know. Because he had like kind of thin, dirty blonde, light brown hair ish, and it was kind of like little wavy, like sweat tendrils. You know what I mean? Or if you've been at sea, and you know, like how the salt water makes your hair kind of do little curls, because he had long hair and he had a very thin ponytail right here. And I was like, he had his head down and he was sitting in a chair, and I said, what was it? We were talking and he was trying to convince me of something. Yeah, that's what it was. He was trying to convince me that he was a good person, that it was something along those lines, like he wasn't going to hurt me, he was a good person, that I had all this information wrong. And I was like, I had this uneasy feeling, and I'm like, no, something's wrong. Like, I trust myself. I know that you're fucking with me. Like, I know there's a problem with you. I know it. And he was like, there's no problem. There's no problem. And he looked so nice and just charismatic and like, please believe me. Like, that's what he was doing in the dream. And when I finally said, okay, I believe you. Like, I'm gonna not listen to myself. I'm gonna just be like, okay. He had his head down when I said that, and he picked his head up, and his eyes were completely black, and it was kind of like the devil, like the devil never looks like the devil, and he was pure evil, and it was like, I tricked you, haha. Like, that's what he did to me in the dream. I was like, you sly motherfucker, because I was like, I knew you were the damn devil. See, I told you. Because I kind of psyched him out by going, okay, yeah, we'll just pretend none of this fucking happened, and I'll believe you. Because I felt like in the dream I was pretending to believe him, and then his true colors went, whew, and I was like, whoa, I was right. But I don't know who he was or who he's representing, but I'm telling you, someone's got some inner demons. We'll just leave it at that. And you know what's really fucking weird? It's making me think of this too, because when I woke up, I immediately thought of it. Because, you know, demons or negative energies, we'll just leave it at that because I don't want to go into the whole demon stuff in details, because that's just a label. It's just an easy way to explain negative energy ultimately, in a big way. But dark, 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 dark. Someone's got a lot of darkness in them. But it reminded me of when, it's really weird. I used to live on Burnham Road in Bridgeton, like a long time ago when my kids were little. Like I think my daughter was like 3 years old, something like that. That's how she was young. And a lot of weird stuff happened in that house, and it didn't feel good. Like sometimes it felt good and sometimes it didn't. Like there was something lurking around and I knew it, but I couldn't put my finger on it. It was just kind of like, I don't know what this is. Like, you know, at the time, because this was a long time ago and I wasn't well versed in anything like this. Like I was I was in the infancy stages. You know what I mean? I could pull oracle cards and that was pretty much it at the time, but I really didn't. When my kids were little, I wasn't tapped in. I pushed a lot of it away. But anyways, I had never had an experience like this before, and I've had spiritual experiences my entire life off and on. But Spirit knows, and when I was too afraid to deal with it, they would leave me alone for the most part, especially when I was younger, because I was always afraid of the dark. I was terrified of the fucking dark. Like, when the power went out, my fan went off, my nightlight went out, I was like, oh, hell no. I would lay in my bed with my eyes closed, screaming for my mom, because I did not want to see what was in the dark. It's like scrying, because you really can... Some people will just say it's shit, I can't remember the name of the word, it begins with a P, but it's where you can see images in things or faces or whatever. You know, pareidolia? Is that what it's called? Pareidolia? I think it is. That is a real thing, but what I'm talking about is different than that. Because I don't know, anyways. Regardless, I was terrified of the dark forever, but even into adulthood, I don't know, I overcame a lot of fears, I'm just saying. So anyways, in that house, this is how it started. There were, some of the picture frames would move. And there were only specific ones. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is weird. So I'd run up and down the hallway and I'd bang on the walls and they wouldn't move. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I would do a bunch of different things to see what would make it shift. And it wouldn't, but it would just do it on its own. I would catch pictures of orbs down that hallway, and it's the property, it's not the house. There's something on that property, I don't know, because that was farmland. But anyways, yeah, it's not the house, because the house was kind of a new build at the time. It's the property. And the neighbor's property, because I think it was all together at one point. But anyways, on the other side. I don't know why I'm doing that, like why I'm on the other side. So anyways, that stuff was happening, like little papers would rip off the fridge, just little weird happenings, you know. It wasn't anything like mind-boggling, blowing, whatever, but it was like, what the shit's that, you know. I wasn't scared of that stuff, I was just curious, like, who's saying what to me, like, you know what I mean. And the pictures that they would move were the one of my grandfather, Oakley, my dad's dad, and I know that he was there protecting us, because he was around my son a lot at the time, because I think he was the cowboy that would shake his bed and wake him up when, I'll get to, when the creepy one was around. It's almost like, oh, get up, get up, get up, we don't want this bitch around, you know, or this thing. But anyways, because weird stuff happened in my son's room a lot too. Like, that's where his toys would go off randomly. His room was always cold. Like, you could never get that fucking room warm. His stuffed animals would go missing. Like, still to this day, he's 18 years old and he goes, I still don't know where my stuffed animals are. They just, I don't know where they are. Like, I never knew what happened to them. He goes, I wonder if they're in the attic. And I was like, I always wondered that too, but I never looked because I was always scared. I was like, I don't want to go up there. But anyways, all that crap was happening. And then one night I woke up to the smell of sulfur. And I'm like, that happened twice. And I was like, what the fuck? And it jumped me up. I'm like, oh my God, the house is on fire. Like, that's the first thing I thought. And we were on the fire department at the time, so I'm like, get up, I think the house is on fire. So we check, and nothing. And that happened twice, and I was like, why do I smell sulfur? So I looked it up, and I mean, Google wasn't the best back then, just saying. But anyways, I was like, that's not good. That's not a good sign. It isn't. And I knew it wasn't without even looking it up. I'm just like, that's not a good sign. And it had nothing to do with Hollywood films and shit, you know? So I guess this one's going to be a little bit of a mix of a share. I feel like somebody's gone through something like this, because that's why I'm explaining experiences, because that dream was significant. And then my son used to walk into my room silently and just stare at me like a creeper, and to wake me up if he wanted a drink or whatever, because he didn't like to walk around the house alone. And so if he had to go to the bathroom, he would either haul ass in there by himself, or he'd wake me up so I'd go like and stand there so he wasn't alone, kind of thing. Because he was like 4 years old, 4 or 5. He might have been about 5 or 6 at the time, actually. Anyways, it doesn't matter about his age. He was little and scared, and I don't fucking blame him. Oh my God, because when I woke up, I looked at the dream catcher. That's the same dream catcher that was in the window one night when I was on the phone with my aunt Kelly, and the windows weren't open, the fan wasn't on, nothing, and the fan doesn't even face that way anyways, because I wasn't near the window, I was near the door. That was my side of the bed. This was when I was married to my kid's father, and I'm on the phone sitting in bed. Andrew was in the room too. Like, I think he was just watching TV or something. I don't remember. I think he was. But anyways, I'm talking to my aunt, and I'm getting ready to like hang up pretty much because we were going to go to bed. And all of a sudden, the dream catcher starts shaking. And I was like, the dream catcher's shaking in my window, and I don't know why. So I got up, and I'm looking around, and I'm feeling for a draft, and nothing. And then my aunt goes, maybe somebody's having a bad dream. And I was like, maybe. And no sooner did I sit back down on the bed, my son comes barreling ass in my room, flipping the fuck out. And I was like, yeah, someone did have a bad dream. I gotta go. And he's screaming, the cowboy's shaking my bed. The cowboy's shaking my bed. And I was like, who the fuck's the cowboy? Because that's the first time I heard about the cowboy. And I know that was my grandfather now, because it was protection. Because there was something else there. Because the cowboy, like my grandfather would wear cowboy hats. He would ride horses and stuff like that. He kind of had that Western appeal to him. My father even similar. He's got his own sense of style, but they lean in the Western type stuff. But anyways, especially his dad really did. But I know it was him. I just know it was him protecting my son. But anyways, he was scared shitless. And then one night when I thought it was my son waking me up, I was like, because you could feel people looking at you, you know. I'm like, what is it, buddy? No answer. So I kind of opened my eyes, but they're kind of blurry, and I'm like, what is it? And because I saw a kid standing there, and I'm like, what is it, buddy? What do you need? No answer. And then finally my eyes adjust, and I saw this little girl with curly long hair, long blonde hair, is curly, and black eyes. Her eyes scared the shit out of me. The ever-living shit out of me. I almost hit the ceiling. Literally, I jumped on top of Andrew. I was like, holy crap. I was like, is she gone? And I had my eyes closed, and I was losing my shit. Of course, he turns on the light. No one's there. He must have thought I was a nut job. I'm just saying. But I was like, I swear to God, that was not a fucking dream. And it wasn't. I was awake. And I was like, because that happened before he had the experience with like hearing Logan's toys go off. His Optimus Prime Transformer would be like, Autobots roll out, you know, that type of crap. Well, it was going off by itself when he was home alone, and it did it 3 times. And then when he was like, will you shut the fuck up, the door slammed. and the window wasn't open, and he called me going, I believe you, I believe you, I believe you, this just happened. And I was like, I fucking told you. But anyways, it's just weird that that creepy bitch was there. Because I'm not being haunted. I don't have like a demon around me or in me. That's not what that is. Not what it's representing. It's some type of an illusion. I'm just going to say that someone's dealing with potentially someone I know who's around me. Yeah. Someone's got some dark thoughts. And it's not like just being interested in dark things. It's these are fucked up thoughts. And they could be coming from that. I don't know, there's some type of negative energy tied to someone. Ouch, just made my wrist hurt right here, as if I just had like someone squeezing my wrist or something's wrapped around my wrist. Does that have something to do with a bracelet? Maybe? Something to do with someone's wrist? But anyways, because that felt like a clamp. That's what that feeling was. Someone's chained to something negative. They could be chained to the devil. Because the devil card just popped in my head when I'm talking about this. So I don't know what that means to any of you, but there's that. But like I said, it's just weird. I saw that little girl, and the devil takes many forms. It's in the eyes. It's all in the eyes. And I keep saying that in readings, like paying attention to unhealthy people and whatever. It's in their eyes. You'll see it. Like there's a void. They're not going to have black eyes and stuff, like all black, like what I saw spiritually, but it's like a void. I mean, if you think about it, black hole, just pure black, it's a void, isn't it? You know, it's void of light. It's void of light, but it absorbs it. Sponges, energy, whatever, leeches, there we go. But yeah, I saw that little bitch, and after that, after I saw her, my daughter started sleepwalking. And she would yell at her brother in her sleep and try to open doors. She'd be opening it, screaming at her brother, like, Logan! And I'm like, what the fuck is she dreaming about? Or she would just sleepwalk, get out of bed, open our bedroom door really quickly, like, wham, and just go, ah, and just scream. And it would scare the fucking crap out of us. We'd be like, what the shit is this? And she did that quite a bit. Like, she would just open the door and scream. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I was like, okay, well, the cowboy was shaking Logan's bed to keep the bitch away. Did she get to Emma? Like, that's what I was thinking. Because I was like, I don't like this energy. Because she'd sleepwalk. And then, I mean, she's always been vocal. But there were times where it was like this sweet little girl. Because she looked like Cindy Lou Who. Like, she had these little spouts and stuff. She was an adorable baby. Both my kids were. And I know every mom says that, but Logan looked like a Precious Moments doll, and Emma looked like Cindy Lou Who. She looked so fucking cute. Like, I love dressing her up. I like dressing them both up. But anyways, she hated being dressed up. Hated it. But anyways, so it's like at the time when they were little, it's like I had two boys because Emma wanted to be just like her brother. But anyway, she outgrew that to an extent. She is still, she's a mix. Like, kind of tomboyish, kind of not. She likes to be comfortable. And she's still beautiful, but she was adorable, I'm just saying. But anyways, she did evil things. Like, she really did. This one time, I had this fairy plaque that my aunt had given me. It was an Amy Brown fairy, because I love Amy Brown, her artwork and stuff. And she went in my room and got it out of my nightstand. I was just talking about it's in my nightstand. I think that's something else. But anyways, she grabbed it. She knew she wasn't allowed in my room. None of the kids were. I'd leave the door shut and whatever. Well, she got in there and she went right for it. Like, she knew exactly where it was, what it was, that it meant something to me, which is weird because she was like 3 years old. So I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it's not like it was out in the open, you know what I mean? So she goes in my room, grabs that, and then stands at the edge of the kitchen with a tile floor while I'm doing the dishes. So I'm looking out the window at the tree line, just kind of washing dishes, whatever. And I hear, Mama. And I was like, what? And she goes, Mama. So I turned around. I'm like, what is it, Emma? And she held it up and just, with this evil look on her face, just went wham and smashed it right in front of me. And I was like, what the fuck? What was that about? Like, it's not like it was accidental. It's not like she was like, oh, Mama, look what I have. No, it was, Mama, you need to see this. I was like, you little brat. Yeah, so I went in and broke her favorite toy because I was like, you know, you're going to fucking learn. But anyways, um, she did that. I mean, she bit a chunk out of Logan's back one time. I bit her back pretty good. I was like, it hurts. Don't do it again. She stopped biting after that. I know a lot of kids go through biting phases and stuff. She smashed his hand with a rock. There's a lot of different things. And she was very, like, she'd do little mean things. Like, actually, she just watched Leprechaun yesterday. That's kind of funny. She's always loved that movie, even as a little kid. Like, I don't even know, I can't remember how she saw it for the first time, because I was thinking, like, I would not put that on for a little kid, because I was like, it scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. Oh no, she loved it. Like, she saw it somehow, maybe it was on TV or something, and she'd just sit there like, this is amazing. And I was just like, you're a fucking weirdo. But anyways, it's not scary now because the graphics are crap. But, and that's what I was thinking, but she was so little, and Logan was terrified of it. He was like, mm-mm. Anytime, she would turn it on purpose. Yeah, because we had on demand and stuff like that, so you could like record or play what you want or whatever through cable. And she would put it on just to torment him. Like, he'd be sitting there playing, doing whatever he was doing, and they'd have like, I don't know, some kids show on, and all of a sudden she'd like kind of look over and be like, and change it, and he would go no and start running and haul ass to his room, and she'd just sit there and laugh like she did it to torture him. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Things like that. So maybe someone's dealing with that, or those are just little things you've noticed, but I feel like it has something to do with that negative energy. I don't know, because I saw that little girl and I was like, I did not like her. And then the man, because like I said, they can take many forms. Shapeshifters. They definitely are. They're more like chameleons, but they can pretend to be whatever. It's like, I can be whatever you need me to be, or what do you want me to be? What's most comforting to you? That's how I'll be. That's my persona. Like, that's kind of what that feels like. But that's just to kind of lure you in. It's to rope you in. Like, oh, I'm cunning, you know, because that's what manipulation is ultimately. And then once I got you all wrapped up and believing this, that, and whatever, that's when true colors go, you know? So someone could be dealing with someone who's kind of narcissistic or psychopathic or something. Just saying, I don't know, because it kind of feels like there could be a mix, like an inner demon here, and just someone's like a magnet for negative energy. I don't think it's intentional, though. I don't know what that's about. Eight of Wands has to do with information and strength. You're strong enough to overcome this. You're strong enough to fight back and not succumb to wrongdoings, evil doings, you know, like, to succumb to someone's bullshit, someone's manipulation. Listen to yourself. I keep saying that. Listen to yourself. So if you got a bad feeling, it doesn't matter what someone says to you. Words are cheap. It does not matter. Could be Leo energy here. For some reason, I want to say there's someone that you could have feared. Like, you could have been like, well, I don't know. I don't understand this. There's something weird with you, or something feels off. And it was almost like a scare tactic, like a mirror, you know, where a deflection. Where it's like someone who's not a problem looks like a problem, but someone who is a problem doesn't look like a problem, which is that's why I did that video on covert narcissism, Maybe I will post it because I was like, should I share it? So if any of you got this far in this video, I did a while ago, I wrote different traits of covert narcissism, because overt narcissism is pretty obvious, you know, because they're over the top. But a covert, they fly under the radar and they're very manipulative, they're very cunning, and they act like the martyr, but they're the traitors. You know what I mean? It's that type of energy. And I had written this down, and I don't remember why. I know it was like topics for future videos, but this isn't from a textbook, you know, it's just what I wrote down either through experiences, past experiences, or it just came to me. I just wrote it down. But I did a comparison because the two bookmarked pages with the same sticky note was covert narcissism and the Chris Watts case. And it lines up pretty damn close to him, you know, because he was very unsuspecting. If you look at him, anyone who knew him didn't think he was capable of what he did, you know. He annihilated his whole family. They thought he wasn't a problem because it's like picture perfect, whatever. I don't know, someone seems so, they don't seem perfect, they seem, they're a nice person, they're helpful, they're whatever, but there's other signs that go along with that the public might not see, but people close to that person will see. And they're subtle signs, some of them. So maybe I will post that one. So don't think I'm going to dive into the Chris Watts case in that just because I mention it, because I don't. It's more of a comparison so that you can wrap your head around different analogies, different examples. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm going to listen to it again before I post it, and if I don't really like the way that it came out, I'll redo it. But because I don't know, it feels important, because there is someone in this energy that needs to be aware of what these people are capable of, and just like their tactics, basically, because not every narcissistic person is violent, you know what I mean? It's not to that extreme. It can be, though. It just depends on, you know, what else they got going on, if they're psychopathic, or, you know, if they got other crap. Runs in the family. I've heard that before too. So there could be a lot of people in someone's family who it's like learned behavior. They act a certain way. So it's like being a product of your environment, but it's also, you know, being genetically bound to negativity for some reason. Something to do with sight. Someone's eyesight. Okay, anyways. I don't know. But something to do with someone's eyesight. I don't know if they were blind or if they just have poor vision. Huh. Excuse me. Yeah, Eight of Swords. There's stress here, worry. Someone could be worried about dying, I'm just saying, or worried about death in general. I just heard in my head, you're gonna kill me, you're gonna kill me, you're gonna kill me. Is somebody worried about that? Or is somebody sending messages that way to make you feel that way? Like whether it's telepathically or spiritually speaking. Because sometimes with telepathic communication, if you're sensitive, even if you're unaware that it's happening, if someone's like repeating something towards you, going like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, or they're repeating things like that, like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you, you can pick up on it, and you might not know where it's coming from, and it might scare you. Somebody's worried about, are they paranoid that someone's gonna, I don't know, there's a level of paranoia with this. Because of somebody else. But I don't feel like it's because of a physical action. It's insinuation, like someone's insinuating that. I don't know, I'm scaring someone. That's what this is. Like someone's scaring someone into thinking that they're gonna die, or well, that would come from a very fucking mean person, just saying. Then we have the Six of Pentacles, which is about equal give and take. But it's, I don't know, this looks like a lie. This feels like it, okay, whatever the situation is to you, it looks balanced because you got 2 and 2 on the scales. But he's holding 1 and there's 1 on the table. So it's almost like, oh, look, everything balances out. Everything's fair. But this person has taken something. They have more. They actually have a lot more because they left. It's like something's hidden. This is for me. This money's for me, or whatever this is, whatever it is. This is for me. I'm going to set this aside, pretend it's not there. So someone could be hiding money. And this is for you and this is for you. You know what I mean? Like, this is for me and this is for you. So it looks like somebody's sharing, that they're helpful, that they're giving to a situation, but they're actually taking a hell of a lot more. I don't know what the fuck that's all about. Nine of Wands. This person could be a baboon's ass, just saying. But the Knight of Wands, the baboon's going nuts. Like, demolishing the house, breaking shit, and then looks like somebody got hurt. So it's like somebody's actions, like, because this is doing something without really thinking it through. It's very quick. Something could happen very suddenly, or so there's an outburst that would be like, what the hell? I didn't know that was coming, you know? That kind of thing. Because I kind of feel like short fuse. Oh, that's in it's one of the signs, just saying. It has to do with being hot-tempered. Someone has a bad temper. When they're having a hard time controlling their emotions. Whoever this is having a hard time controlling their emotions, their feelings. There's something to do with money, too. They really want money. I don't know. They're doing something for money, or they just think about it a lot. Like, I need money, I need money, I need money. King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. With the Queen of Pentacles. These are 2 very different energies. This could be someone's parents as well, whether it's your parents or they're just parental figures. These people could have kids, or they could be older, more mature, whatever. But if you look at it, the way that I'm seeing it is like, say this is dad and this is mom. It could be vice versa. But feminine energy is usually more nurturing and masculine's not. You know, they're more practical and hardworking and whatever. I'm not saying women aren't hardworking or feminine energy. It's just when a woman's hardworking, she's in her masculine energy. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyways, regardless of that, this person's kind of cold. This person, they think a lot. They overanalyze, but they don't say much. Or when they do speak, it's kind of non-emotional. It's just matter of fact. I'm not saying this person doesn't joke around and shit like that, but when it comes to serious matters, you know, like, oh, there's a problem here, let's discuss this kind of thing, this person wouldn't really be emotionally invested, or they would avoid topics like that. And this person wouldn't. This person's more like, more colorful. They're in the light. Someone's in the dark and someone's in the light. Whoever this Queen of Pentacles is, they see, because she's got those little opera things. See what's going on here. I just heard the show's about to start. Shh. The show's about to start. Somebody looking forward to a TV show or something, or a play. The show's about to start. This one might even be getting entertainment out of somebody's misery or something. I don't know. Let's see. What the fuck? What's up with her? The show's about to start. Okay. If this isn't like parental people or whatever. These are just representing two people, no matter how old they are. Could even be younger energies or whatever. There's someone who's very theatrical, no matter how old they are. Could be a feminine or female. And then there's someone who is kind of, they feel left out a lot. Like, they're out on the corner. That doesn't sound like prostitution. Maybe they're involved in that, but this feels like feeling left out. That this one's just around the corner. I'm around the corner. I'm around the corner waiting. What the fuck? This one thinks and doesn't speak much, and this one's over dramatic. They're right outside the morgue. Ooh, creepy, creepy. This is on the card. Yeah, somebody feels left out. Whoever this King of Swords is, they're not in their happy place. They might pretend to be happy. Someone's pretending to be happy, but they're actually feeling kind of lonely, kind of sad. And they could have some dark thoughts, you know, like, I don't know, depression. We'll leave it at that. I'm not going into detail. The Queen of Pentacles. Who's this theatrical lady? It's like, I'm just here for entertainment. I'm just here for the show. I'm enjoying this. I want to see what's going on. That kind of thing. That's what that person's doing. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, that person's kind of greedy. They're holding back. They're holding back their intentions. I don't know, because I feel like this person appears to be nice and bubbly and happy and whatever. Like, it feels like an older female. This person could have gray hair under their color if they color it, you know what I mean? So they're old enough to have gray hair. We'll leave it at that. But they're kind of theatrical. Like, they're boisterous. I don't know. The way they speak might be louder, or they talk a lot. They have to be the center of attention, or they know everyone's business. Shit like that. Like, I don't know. They over-dramatize things sometimes, or just their reaction is bubbly, you know? But this person, that's a persona for them. Because this person's kind of greedy. What the fuck? They're greedy. They're holding back their intentions. This is someone who's two-faced. Whoever this woman is, because then we have the Six of Swords. It's like, I'm holding back my true intentions. I'm going to be nice to your face, but I really want you to get the fuck out of here. Like, that's what that feels like. Yeah, there's a level of manipulation here. The King of Wands might get a little upset over this, because he or she is faced with a decision. Someone could have chosen wrong as well. Like, I did start this off with, you know, choose your path. Somebody could have chosen the wrong path, and they might get a little pissed off about it. Just saying, I don't know, someone's not gonna be very happy about something. Yeah, they're not gonna be happy about something. Someone's not gonna be happy when good things come in for you. Because some of you could be healers, but Page of Swords. Someone's not happy that you're learning about them, potentially through scrying as well, because that's what it's making me think of. I'm gonna keep coughing all of a sudden, so I'm gonna go now. That's what I have for you guys. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.